a prophet, sodomizing a pastor, a 19-year-old, and other men. Shouldn't we be terrified of the punishment that is about to befall us, guys? Are these not the evils that made Sodom and Gomorrah to be burnt into ashes? Or should we live with the thought that God mercies are new every morning, and as such, live without a care in this world? Well, I'm terrified, guys, and so should you. On this fateful day, the 10th of July, 2025, Pastor Bernard Gitau held an interview with popular TikToker by the name Steve Wamasaj. During this interview, Pastor Ben claimed that his drink was spiked and he was sodomized by a popular bishop who was based in Ruiru. This bishop was not only wealthy but famous. He owned a Prado and 4 chase cars. However, he claimed that he could not name his abuser since he was armed and could easily vanish him.
I was sodomized by one of the preachers wenye wako in the city, wenye wako hii Kenya yetu, and the reason why this happened ni juu I was looking for help on how the ministry we are doing for Boda Boda itaweza kusimama. Those who follow me and those who have seen what we do, that is the reason why nilijipata kwa hii shida.
Well, after a few requests from different social media personalities to hold an interview with them, he finally accepted to spill the beans on Lady Jacqueline's TikTok page. Lady Jacqueline was a commissioner of the self-appointed TikTok High Court. During this interview, Pastor Bernard Gitau confirmed that it was Prophet Peter K. who allegedly spiked his drink and sodomized him. More than 17,000 people were logged into this page waiting for the beans to be spilled. We held onto our phones as if our lives depended on it. And after it was confirmed that it was a Prophet Peter K. who had committed these atrocities, allegedly, our minds could not comprehend.
Of this prophet. All right, so I'm going to go on the big screen and I'm going to do the expose. So before I do the expose, I want to show you what actually helped us identify the victims. But anyway, let me expose this first because people are here for this. So this is the prophet. And he is here. Oh my God. He is here in our lives right now. Oh my God. This is Mary Lincoln boyfriend. Wamekorogo. Huyu ni yule pasta anajipakaka mikorogo.
Let us be clear about one thing here. In Africa, we have exceptional respect for spiritual fathers. To us, they are the anointed ones of God, and we dare not touch them, just like the all good book has instructed. To many of us, our spiritual fathers come only second to the Holy Trinity. To others, the spiritual father is the voice of God himself. And to a few others, the voice of their spiritual fathers erases all the wisdom that God has put in their hearts. That's why a spiritual father would ask them to starve themselves to death while he eats and dines, but they will obey it to the letter. So, how could Pastor Ben, this is even confusing, a pastor and a prophet? So who is touching who? Who is the anointed one of God and who is not? But here we are. Should we stand with Pastor Ben? Should we stand with Prophet Peter K? The internet was broken into two. In his account, Pastor Ben Gitau visited Prophet Peter K in his home in Muthaiga, where they proceeded to Wayakiwe for drinks. Guys, this is still so confusing. How did a prophet convince a pastor to go get drinks, alcoholic drinks for that matter? Still unbelievable to date. So, apparently, this prophet owns a van that does not have chairs at the backside. It only had a mattress. And this was when the prophet spiked the pastor's drink and took advantage of him, after which he left him lying on that van. It was only in the morning that this pastor woke up with pains, with severe pains in his back servers. Oh my God, why am I even laughing? So he woke up with pains in his back servers, and it was only then that he realized what had happened to him. Our Boda Boda pastor did not go report this matter to the police, but later he recounts that he went to the hospital where he was treated of hemorrhoids and his back servers were stitched since he was in severe pains and he could not easily release himself. This story is traumatizing me. So, during the interview, Pastor Ben was able to give this information, and he had submitted this letter from the doctor to Lady Jacqueline to prove that he had been to the hospital and received treatment for what had happened. Now, when this expose was happening on Lady Jacqueline's page, our prophet was headed from Lakeview, Nakuru, to Wanyororo, where he would take a rest after a very long day of ministering. Apparently, he had seen a snippet of Bernard Gitau's interview on Steve Wamasad's TikTok page, but did not pay much attention to this interview. However, he only mentioned it in passing to his spiritual son. Upon arrival to Wanyororo, our prophet put his phone on airplane mode and went to sleep. He had no idea that the world was about to break and swallow him whole. How he wished that he knew that in a few minutes his face would be plastered all across social media and later in all main media platforms. Sometimes, guys, don't you wish that you had some superpowers just to know the next chapter of your life? Because some of us would head for our hills upon the sight of what was coming our way. But Prophet Peter K. did not have this privilege. He was woken up by his spiritual son, who told him that he was trending across all social media platforms. He logged into Lady Jacqueline's page, and to his utter shock, 17,000 people who are logged into Lady Jacqueline's page, listening, watching, and witnessing the allegations that had been laid against him by Buddha Pastor Bernard Gitau. He confirms that his stool immediately became loose. Yani, I don't know how to say this, but alienda kuhara immediately because his stomach couldn't hold anything, and for days he couldn't eat. He was shaking, not knowing what tomorrow held for him. He says that he couldn't go to any page and counter what the pastor had said because who would believe him?
17 nyamå yakwa ä 17k andå arä a meroreire hau nao akiuga Prophet Peter K ndainainä kå gä kä maka ndambire kå harwo hau instant ndinaharwo to ndä guilty ndaharwo nä ndathira ndakua if I will not die today niä rä ngä hå rwo nä må tumia tagwata wa okara tagwata she's known ikara okara she's known she's a content creator akihurira akijira Ngai na ndiramenya hindi yo arahurira riera-ini Prophet hey muthenya waku ni wakinya wa kwandikwo riu niĩ ngĩkĩaria hau akĩnjĩra no menye wĩyonea that's why I had to exit